I am from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, where there are a number of Black athletes who traveled to Minnesota in the early 60s to mid 60s, and primarily because the public universities in the South weren't integrated at the time, where Minnesota had created a pipeline to take those Black athletes that were good enough to play, but weren't of the appropriate color to be accepted into the North Carolina public universities at that time.
I said that if you had a theme for Black history as far as music, what would it be? And name or a singer that comes to mind?
Well, it was easy in the sense that, as I'm, obviously we're reflecting on part of the past, and the title of the song would be Gifted in Black, and the singer would be Nina Simone. That to me would be the most appropriate. And I remember the song well, liked the song well, and thinking about it in context of your question, that was my answer. Myself, Ed Duran, and a guy named Bobby Lee, who was probably the greatest Black athlete to come to the university that never lettered. 6'4", 220, dunk a basketball with shoes on, flat-footed. In fact, he's about your size. What are you, about 6'5", 6'6"?
About 6'6", yep.
Yeah, well, Bobby was just maybe an inch shorter, but physically looked just like you in terms of body type. And, the coach basically told Black players at that time, you could date white women, but not in public. And Bobby refused to accept that mantra. And so, as gifted of an athlete as he was, he never played. And during spring practice of our senior year, scouts from the St. Louis Cardinals came through, saw him in practice, and they signed him as a free agent, and he had not played one down in 3 years of college. I mean, he was that good of an athlete.
Let's talk about that group, Judge, Sandy, Carl, Bobby, that group before you. Mm-hmm. How did they help you with being Black and being part of that integration in a time where it's great for you to be on the field, but off the field, make sure you are invisible?
We had people that we could pick up the phone and call or lean on, and probably the one who was the most, two really, Lou Hudson, who was a very, very thoughtful person, and was well respected by cross-section of people. And the other was Judge Dixon, and Judge was in law school at the time when we got there, and he was a resident hall director, and so we had opportunity to network with Judge, regularly, because he was around. But the thing that those guys did is that they provided a community of support that put our minds at ease, because we had answers to questions or pathways to problem solving in an environment that didn't necessarily lend itself to that. You asked the question, what was I doing when Martin Luther King gave the I Have a Dream address? Well, I was a junior in high school when he gave that speech. I was playing hooky from school when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. So the sit-ins the civil rights movements, the sitting in at the counters. I was never arrested, but knew people who were arrested, for protesting. I was able to look back on it, fondly and proudly, because, I remember in the cotton fields, literally with my grandmother, picking cotton. That was all a part of growing up, 13, 14 years old. So, having experienced those things and today, obviously reliving, the Black Lives Matter movement and thinking about, that, we've gone full circle.